Nerderotic.com.
Welcome back to the Nerderotic Podcast. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California. I come to you from nerderotic.com, and I am with my lovely, talented, and the best co-host a guy could possibly ask for, my wife, Melissa Wagner.
Oh, that is way too much.
Did I lay it on thick? Was that good? You
what
like
do
that?
you want?
You'll find out later. Hey, we're talking about Game of Thrones, Season 7. Episode 6, it's almost over. Beyond the Wall.
Don't say that.
It's gone too well. That's the name of the episode.
It's almost over.
It's almost. Oh, don't say. Oh, sorry. It's yeah. It's almost over. It's gone way too fast, and I guess that's the first thing we can talk about, Melissa, is the long talked about Game of Thrones TARDIS that people are running around on, and the fast acts of communication and wacky plans and kind of wacky writing we've had. We actually discussed this with dinner with our friends last night.
It's like Game of Thrones unplugged.
It is.
Right? And they have ravens that move at like supersonic speed.
Yeah, I didn't do the math, but Westeros is supposedly the size of South America. The wall is at the top. And King's Landing is, I think,
told you that?
Buenos Aires. Who told me that?
Who told you that?
George R. R. Martin told me that himself. No, that's what it's supposed to be. And
a little bit of geek research
for
there.
a raven to fly that far, and then not come back, and then the dragon has to fly back at supersonic speeds, and then
right. Well, the dragon is pretty fast.
Yeah. But she's got the dress on for it, but she doesn't, have the headgear. That must be freezing cold unless she's flying low. I guess you could do.
It's fantasy.
It certainly is at this point.
It's just fantasy.
But there's always been a logic to Game of Thrones and why you put the pieces where you did. And, it went from this prodding thing to just like, okay, let's hurry up and finish everything, which is jarring me just a little bit. I still love this episode for the complete fan service that it was. But it's, as a book fan, I'm going to sound as pretentious as possible right there.
That's a stretch.
It's a much thanks, babe. Thank you so much. So we start off beyond the wall. We got a nice shot of the map in Dragonstone, and then it cuts into our Magnificent Seven, or Eastwatch Avengers, as we're calling them, or the Suicide Squad. They got a lot of names out there.
I didn't hear that one.
No, you didn't. Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah, and it's awesome seeing all these guys together. It was a bit rushed, but I love the freaking Hound, and I don't care how they got him here. The Hound scene about giving Gendry shit about what you're whinging, your mouth is moving, you're whinging. It was funny. We had some good light moments before it got pretty dark. And I think we got I think we got foreshadowing of what the final season is going to be. I think it's just going to be just all battling. I think we're coming to the end of the treachery and backstabbing for the most part.
Now it's on.
Now it's
going to go down.
Flat out on.
Right.
After this. That polar bear scene, don't want to bury the lead. We only lost one major guy. I thought we were going to lose a few, but we lost Thoros of Myr. So rest in peace, Thoros of Myr. Got mauled by a dead polar bear that looked really good.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, and we even got to have him and Jorah talk before he passed. But one of those underused characters in the book. He's a pretty amazing character. He fought with Robert. He fought with Jorah. He's part of the Brotherhood Without Banners, and he's part of the whole Lady Stoneheart thing. That, God, I teased you guys so much. Our friends, I always go, "Oh, you can't wait! There's something amazing coming," and then they never brought out Lady Stoneheart. So,
well, at least we have Jorah back. I'm super excited about having him back in the picture. He's such a great character, and I thought that him and Dany's reunion was so cute, and so I'm liking that, like. It's a super dangerous mission. Well, of course I'm going to go.
Yes.
He's just so rad.
Yeah. Well, he survived all this and getting his skin peeled off. And yeah, and I did like that little scene between him and Tyrion giving him the gold coin and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then, the scene between him and Jon, where Jon offers the sword back. I actually thought that was going to happen. I had read a spoiler that was going to happen the previous episode, but I love how they did that. Even though we saw it coming. Because that's just how Jon is. He's that, like Daenerys said in this episode, he's that hero that, I don't like, I love Tyrion because he's a hero, and Jon is going off doing this reckless, and I don't know how necessary of a mission it is. Couldn't he have talked Daenerys into flying over there and getting
in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about that, but remember, he's having a hard time getting her to even just believe him, right? And she wants him to bend the knee. He's not really in a position to be asking for much when she just wants so little.
That's true. And
bending the knee.
Bending the knee. Yeah. not later, We're podcasting, honey.
Okay. It's got to be good for the kids.
Family show.
Family.
I broke my chain of thought right there.
He's so easily distracted.
I am. So with Jon offers the sword back to Jorah. Of course, Jorah says no, and hey, and then he mentions that you keep this for you and your kids after, which which could be the Song of Ice and Fire. The big theory out there is that it's not really Jon and Daenerys who are the Ice and Fire; it's maybe their kid. So we'll see how long. Let's see, maybe they do a time jump. I don't know how they do that, but remember, only show watchers and non-book readers or whatever, that the Night King hasn't even been introduced in the book. We don't know. The others have made very few appearances. Even that Hardhome, they did a whole episode on that 2 seasons back. That was just mentioned in a letter. So we don't know who's behind them yet. We know nothing about them, and even in the show, they don't talk, and we know so little. What I would have liked is this plan that they hatched and they went out there was to explain it, like have a minute of going, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to try to draw one out. We're going to, trap them like a bear or something like that. They never discussed that. They just went, okay, let's go. I got a rope.
A rope. Somebody's got a sack.
Yeah. And and an axe and a hammer, and let's go. So they get attacked by the polar bear, and they have to drag Thorsamir, and then they see some zombies walking with another, and it's just I guess a recon group or something, and they ambush them. And I guess they're feeling confident because anytime you saw an other in the show, you just kind of turned tail and ran. But Jon's got the Valyrian steel sword, so he can fight them.
Well, they're there to capture one. So if they see one and run,
yeah, it doesn't really help. So
he wants to get in there, get this done, and get the hell out of there, I would imagine. So,
and they were very lucky to find the one just wandering around in the north. They found the one recon team out there. It's a lot of luck involved here, but hey, it runs out, and it kind of did. And after they fought, Jon kills one of them, and most of the whites die right when he kills one of the others. Mm-hmm. And Jorah, of course, notices that. So that foreshadows. I mean, this could end really fast. I can already see the how it should have ended video for Game of Thrones. They do these how it should have ended, like they did the Lord of the Rings, where why don't you just fly the fucking eagles up to Mount Doom, in the first place? Mm-hmm. All they have to do is kill the Night King. Now, I think we got an idea of how powerful he is. I don't think he's an easy kill. Sorry, we have some dogs at the door here wanting to come in. Yes, they want to talk about Game of Thrones too. So I guess one remains alive, so they just happen to have one to capture there, which is good. That was a cool scene where Thoros, no, it wasn't Thoros, because it was the Hound jumps on him and then rips his lips off. That was freaking gross.
He wipes them off. I think he goes to grab, and they just it's the extra squirmy scene.
Yeah. So then we let's go to I'm gonna have to edit that part out. We go to Sansa and Arya, which could have been 2 boring kind of exposition scenes, but they were really good and creepy. Mm-hmm. And I kind of love that they're going this direction. They're not just like, oh, I love you, sister, because they did not like each other. And
they still do not like each other.
They still don't like each other or trust each other.
That's usually how it works, It's usually whatever that pattern is sort of just continues on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have the whole resentments and
I mean, it's sad because, you know, as a viewer, you see both sides of it so much more clearly. And they're right. They don't know, each of them doesn't know what the other one has been through. So they're completely lacking any empathy for, you know, the trials that they've each been through. It's really sad to see them not getting along, because I feel really terrible that they are having this like discontent. It's like they're so divided, and if they just knew, right?
or if they just talk to Bran.
Who knows? Who's not all seeing?
Yeah, but he's not all there yet. So he's probably still staring at the tree. And with Arya, it also shows that she is not she's not Batman yet. She's not the Ninja Warrior. She's still making mistakes. Littlefinger was able to follow her and manipulate her. And I think we're just getting kind of Littlefinger's last hurrah. Does anybody doubt what's going to happen? That was the first thing I thought in episode 1 when he was left there with Sansa, is like, he's in danger. Especially with Bran back. So yeah, I think it's a bit drawn out, but it was a really good scene between them two. And Maisie Williams was creepy. She was definitely creepy.
No, she pulled that off. She made it not boring at all. She really delivered on it. And and Sansa is visibly like rattled.
Oh, because she does have things to hide. She did watch Littlefinger push Aunt Lysa. Even though she was trying to kill Sansa, she watched him do it and hasn't said anything to the Lords of the Vale, to little Robert. Partially because Littlefinger's still firmly in control. But I don't know. I think if she went to Bronzion Royce, he would believe her. I think he'd believe her. But you got to have a healthy fear of Littlefinger too, and he knows what he's doing, obviously. But this is going to end badly for him.
I'm tired of him.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the way they written him the last. Seasons.
I mean, he was so much more. Yeah, he was so much more interesting when he had a brothel.
I know.
Ever since he left that, I've been like, okay,
yep.
like where? How did you get along on this ride? Like, how did you get tagging along here? Like, he was just this, like, kind of pond scum guy,
Yeah. And, well, in the books, he saves Sansa, goes to the Eyrie, and then they stay there, and then there's way more intricate stuff going on because he's trying to marry her off to Robert Arryn's heir, who's like so barely related to him. He's like a second nephew or something like that, to stay in charge of the Eyrie. And he's, remember, his entire goal is to sit on the Iron Throne.
Right.
And, so they took a part of that plot and then they just forgot it.
Yeah.
And, brought Sansa up to Winterfell. Remember, there's a fake Arya in Winterfell. Sansa's not anywhere near it. Yeah. So we're way beyond the book. And I know I labor that point forever, but
what books?
Yeah. If they would have just stuck to 10 episodes this season, and I hope they change their mind. I bet they're going to get a lot of flack for this. As enjoyable as this has been, they're going to get, once the season's over, you're going to see a lot of backlash, I think, some of the writing. So we get back to the wall, and this is the big scene.
Well, this is what happens when something's, kind of come to fruition, and they just want to, like, put it all together so that they can have some closure on as many points as possible. It's like, you're not going to reach them all, and you're not going to be able to, especially in a story as complicated as this, and you're not going to have them all closed down and sealed down neatly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, that's not even going to happen in the books either. It's pretty clear that George R. R. Martin's having a hard time closing this out, and it's questionable whether he's going to.
Well, somebody's going to.
Yeah. Somebody will finish the book, like with Robert Jordan. So we go back to the wall, and this is the scene that everybody's been waiting for I don't know, since the series started. Since we learned that there was going to be dragons and zombies, we got a little zombie versus dragon action, and it was done extremely well. Now this is after Gendry went back to the wall. Sent a raven, got to Daenerys. Daenerys got back, and it looked like it happened in a night. They were attacked on a lake, and some of the zombies fell in the lake, and it looks like they spent the night and they
on sort of an island.
Sort of an island in the middle. And they start getting attacked again once the Hound
freezes back over.
Yeah, and the Hound, dumbass throws a rock and it just bounces on the lake, and he's
his name is the Hound.
This is true. This is true.
Like we're not expecting like big. He's not big on the intellect.
No.
Right?
No. But he gets to the point.
He's evolved.
Yeah, he has evolved, and we love him. So we get this badass battle, and I know you hate zombies, so sorry.
I'm not really seeing this as zombies so much.
Nah, they're more like just thralls, just like video game avatars or whatever. And it was a kick-ass scene. We got to see, Beric Dondarrion's flaming sword and these guys fighting with each other, and it was really well done. It was directed by Alan Taylor, who did the Blackwater episode, went off to direct Thor: Dark World, which a lot of people probably won't love him for. He's going to be doing the Hellboy remake, which I'm very excited about, and did a great job. And then Daenerys comes in and saves the day, and it was badass. Dragons coming down, zombies burning up, but the Night King is just chilling back there, and nobody thinks to maybe throw a flame at him. But I don't know if the flame hurts him. Does dragon fire? I know he can walk through regular fire, and I guess that was dragon fire that was burning on the ground, although was the snow burning. So I guess technically that's dragon fire. So I don't think it hurts him. And he's got an arm like Tom Brady. I mean, he has got an arm. So, Daenerys lands, and it is, I know
Cersei went through all the trouble of building this big contraption weapon, and you know what? It didn't work because it's not fast enough. It doesn't aim fast enough, doesn't shoot fast enough. But we've got the Ice King.
Yeah.
He just picks up a spear and hurls it, like, psh, done.
It's like, oh, yeah. And then the guy handed it to him. He didn't even pick up his own spear. He's all, spear. So he is pretty cool, no pun intended. So the Night King fires a shot, kills Viserion, like in one shot. And it's actually the same shot pretty much that hit Drogon, in the same spot. But it looks like he hit the dragon right where there's like a little gland right here where I guess the flammable fluid comes out, because you saw flame like shooting out, like, and it was shooting fire at the time, like the side of a throat and all the blood coming out. And that was hard to watch. I never felt so bad for a lizard, but that whole scene, I can't see this happening in the books, but it really works for the series. But this totally takes away, unless there's some roundabout way, there's a prophecy of the dragon has 3 heads. This gets repeated all the time in the books. So I don't know how that can work unless the Night King plays into that prophecy. And maybe it does. And it just happens to be the dragon that was named after her brother, so, we foresaw that a little bit. Each dragon takes a bit of the personality of the person it's named after. Rhaegal is named after Rhaegar, her other brother, who she never met, who is probably Jon Snow's dad. Spoilers. And Drogon, the one she rides, is Khal Drogo. So it was, sad to see one of her children die, and it was gory as hell, and the blood streaming out. And Jon must have felt really bad. He's like, wow, this plan is just going to fucking shit. I just screwed everything up. They did manage to get a White Walker, but oh man, that cost her a dragon.
He feels bad.
Yeah, he does feel bad. He did apologize for it, but he did. Towards the end, he's like, I'm so sorry, I wish I'd never been there. But then she said, yeah, I'm glad I did, because I'd have never seen the Night King. And that was now it's just turned into a straight revenge story, a la like Charles Bronson.
Okay, why does Dany think that she can't have any kids?
She's barren.
Who told her that?
That witch in season 1.
Okay.
She said
season 1 was a long time ago.
Yes, it was.
So let remind me how that was and how that came about.
So when she sacrificed, she was pregnant with Khal Drogo's baby, and when she sacrificed basically her kid to bring Khal Drogo back to life, whatever form that was, the witch had told her that she's barren. You'll never be able to have kids again.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Like, we're taking all of it.
Yep. And Now the book does something different, which I kind of, you got to read A Dance with Dragons. At the end, it kind of changes that a little bit, possibly. So,
do you have a copy around here?
I might have one like right there, right there. So yeah, now there's a lot of magic involved. We got dead people coming back. So do you think her womb could quicken again? Probably. It probably can, especially when it meets, little Jon Snow love.
That might get the hormones raging a little bit.
Spoiler warning for you guys out there, but hashtag boat sex will be trending 1 week from today. Just saying. Boat sex. So yeah, it was a really good episode. I can't believe the season's over now, and we're gonna have to wait a year and a half. It's possibly going to get delayed till 2019. So maybe they're going to add, because it looks like it's 6 episodes left. So maybe they're going to add more. We do have 1 more episode left, and it looks like this is going to be the one where we have a cast convergence.
Oh yeah, the cast converging has been awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good. So I can't wait to see all these characters meet, and I hope they give it just a lot. Just give it the whole hour.
Love it when people go, "You're the Hound."
Yeah, you're the dog. Yeah. Oh, and I hope we didn't get very much Brain to Tarth this year. Hopefully she's got a good scene. I guess she was off filming Star Wars and doing other things, but that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great episode. Yes, I have my complaints, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Comment away, all my stuttering through all this stuff. But yeah. Any final words there, Melissa?
Oh, I thought that I really liked the way that it ended. I'm glad I watched it twice. I wanted to watch it again. I had to wait like a couple days to kind of watch it. And then that last scene, where it's Jon Snow and Daenerys, and they're going back and forth, and the eyeballs are just going back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, I wish there was like thought bubbles. I want to all this stuff that's being inferred. Could we have like subtitles for the brains? Like,
I really like his scars.
Something I'm like, I want to know what those characters are thinking right now. And this is where it's like, no matter how good of an actor they are, it's like you kind of are getting the gist of what's going on and the chemistry and everything that's there. But it oscillated between like kind of sexy, kind of flirty, kind of touching, because it's she's still really sad about her dragon babies.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, they have chemistry. So I'm wondering and I mentioned this in the previous podcast, I'm wondering, in the season 1 that they had them do some scenes together to kind of figure that out. I
think the kid just has chemistry.
Well,
he is still dating Egret.
I think they got married.
I think they got engaged.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
maybe he just has chemistry.
Watch him touched by fire. You might like a fire of another kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really like that the Night King went to Castle Depot for the undead and got a big chain and was able to pull Syrian back up through the lake. And
where were they keeping all that chain?
I don't know. Back pocket.
There's a wagon hauling around behind them.
Just
they do have a lot of people.
Yeah, they
have
do.
A huge staff.
They have a huge staff, and they're really underpaid. They should unionize or something. I don't know. But they work very hard. They do
work very hard.
And he turned Viserion. So now we have the Night King on a dragon. That cannot be good news. It had to happen, or Daenerys would have wiped the floor with everybody.
Can it still spit fire? What's it going to spit now? Icy snow slushy?
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could have like a Friezo ray breathing thing.
Well, what's that icy you like? The white cherry?
White cherry icy.
White cherry icy. That's what it's going to. Just white cherry icy brings down the wall. So yeah, the wall's probably coming down very soon.
The wall's pretty big.
It is pretty big, but he's got a dragon that can shoot something out. Well, I guess we'll find out. We're gonna find out next week.
Yep.
So like I said,
now he's got a dragon. That playing field just got a little more level.
It did, and that's exciting. I hope next episode. This one was long, and next episode is going to be long. We still have a lot of answer. I mean, are we going to get this long rumored, Rhaegar flashback? Are we going to actually see Rhaegar Targaryen for the first time in a Bran flashback? Are we going to find out Jon's lineage, his origin? I imagine we are. Is Cersei going to lay a trap? Is this meeting actually going to happen? Does the White Walker going to make it all the way, or is it going to decay? Is there going to be boat sex? I don't know. These are the things we don't know. I kind of do know, but I don't know.
I can't wait a whole week.
And I know Melissa mentioned that she saw the episode a couple days ago, but she meant to say she saw it today. Yeah, today. We are proud subscribers to HBO now.
I hope the next one leaks early too.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. Yeah. I have a feeling
they aired it.
They did air it.
They aired it.
Yeah, we don't want to bury the lead on that one. This episode has been out for a long time, and pretty much everybody's seen it already. But
I had to jump on a few people.
There you go. And here we are. We waited till Sunday to podcast about it. So
that's the polite thing to do.
It is. All our links are in the description, all our Twitters, because we have all the Twitters and our website. And please comment away. I will respond to you as soon as I can, probably tonight. And I don't know, anything else, babe?
No, that's it. See you next week.
May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Thanks for watching.
You have been listening to a Nerdrotic podcast. Please subscribe.